My name is Sarah. I live in a big city. The city is New York. It is a noisy city. There are cars and buses everywhere. There are millions of people. But I often feel lonely. I moved to New York 1 year ago. I work in an office. I am an accountant. My job is good. I like numbers. Numbers are honest. Numbers do not lie. But numbers are not friends. Every day I have the same routine. I wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning. I brush my teeth. I wash my face. I go to the kitchen to make breakfast. Usually I eat toast with butter and jam. I drink a cup of coffee. I like my coffee with milk and no sugar. Then I take the subway to work. I work from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Then I come home. I make dinner for myself. Usually I make pasta or a salad. I eat dinner while watching television. Sometimes I read a book. I like stories about travel and adventure. I read until 10 o'clock. Then I go to sleep. This is my life. It is a safe life. It is a quiet life. But sometimes I want to talk to someone. I want to tell someone about my day. One evening, it was a Tuesday. It was raining outside. I was sitting on my sofa. I was reading a book about Italy. Suddenly, my phone made a sound. Beep, beep. I looked at my phone. I had a new text message. I was surprised. Usually only my mother sends me messages, but my mother lives in California. It was late in the evening. I opened the message. It was a photo. It was a photo of a dog. The dog was small and white. The dog was wearing a funny blue hat. Under the photo, there was a message. The message said, "Look at Max. He is ready for his birthday party. Are you coming, Aunt Mary?" I looked at the photo again. The dog was very cute, but I did not know the dog. I am not Aunt Mary. I do not have a nephew. It was a wrong number. Usually I ignore wrong numbers. I delete the message. But tonight I was bored, and the dog was funny, so I decided to reply. I typed a message. "Hello, I think you have the wrong number. I am not Aunt Mary, but the dog is very cute. Happy birthday to Max." I pressed send. I put the phone down. I smiled. It was a small, funny moment in my quiet evening. I went back to my book. 2 minutes later, beep, beep. My phone made a sound again. It was a reply. "Oh no, I'm so sorry to disturb you. I typed the wrong digit. Thank you for being nice. Max says thank you too." I read the message. The person was polite. I like polite people. I replied again. "It is no problem. Mistakes happen. Have a good party." I thought the conversation was finished. I closed my eyes, but then the phone beeped again. "I am sorry again. My name is Tom, by the way. I hope I didn't wake you up." I looked at the message. His name is Tom. He seems nice. I decided to be brave. "Hello, Tom. I am Sarah. You did not wake me up. I was reading. That night, we sent 5 more messages. Tom told me that Max is his sister's dog. He told me that he was at his sister's house. He sent me a photo of the birthday cake. It was a chocolate cake. I told him that I love chocolate cake. At 11 o'clock, I said goodnight. Good night, Sarah. Sorry for the wrong number again, Tom wrote. Good night, Tom, I replied. I went to sleep with a smile on my face. I was not so lonely that night. The next day was Wednesday. I went to work. I looked at numbers all day. At lunchtime, I sat in the park. I was eating a sandwich. My phone beeped. It was a message from Tom. Hello, Sarah. How is your day? I hope it is better than mine. I am stuck in traffic. I was surprised. He remembered me. I replied. Hello, Tom. My day is okay. I am eating a sandwich in the park. Why are you in traffic? Tom replied. I am a delivery driver. I drive a van. I deliver flowers to people. Today the traffic is terrible, but the flowers are beautiful. He sent me a photo. It was a photo of the inside of his van. It was full of red roses. Wow, I typed. It smells nice in your van, I'm sure. It smells like a garden, he said. This was the beginning. Every day we sent messages. We became digital friends. We did not know each other's faces. We only knew our words. In the morning, Tom sent me a message. Good morning, Sarah. Have a nice coffee. In the evening, I sent him a message. Good evening, Tom. How was the traffic today? We talked about many things. I told him about my job. I told him that I like order and rules. He told me about his job. He told me that he likes meeting new people. He told me funny stories. Once, a dog chased his van. Once, he delivered flowers to a famous actor. He made me laugh. I laughed in my empty apartment. My apartment did not feel so empty anymore. One day I had a bad day at work. My boss was angry. I made a mistake with the numbers. It was a small mistake, but my boss shouted at me. I felt terrible. I wanted to cry. I sat on the bus on the way home. It was raining. I felt very small and sad. I took my phone. I texted Tom. I had a terrible day, I wrote. 1 minute later, he replied, Oh no, what happened? I told him about my boss. I told him about the mistake. I told him that I felt stupid. Tom did not say, it's okay. He wrote a long message. Sarah, you are not stupid. You are smart. You are hard-working. Everyone makes mistakes, even me. Last week I delivered red roses to the wrong house. The woman was very confused. It happens. Tomorrow is a new day. Go home, eat some chocolate, and rest. I read his words. Tears came to my eyes. But they were not sad tears. They were happy tears. Someone cared about my feelings. Someone listened to me. Thank you, Tom, I wrote. You are a good friend. You are a good friend too, Sarah, he replied. 1 month passed. It was autumn now. The leaves on the trees were brown and orange. The air was cold. I knew a lot about Tom. I knew he liked pizza with pineapple. I knew he liked to watch football on Sundays. I knew he lived in Brooklyn. He knew a lot about me. He knew I liked to read. He knew I was scared of spiders. He knew I lived in Manhattan, but we never met. We never spoke on the phone. We only texted. Sometimes I wondered what he looked like. Did he have a beard? Was he tall? Was he old or young? I knew he was around my age because he talked about school in the 90s. But I did not ask for a photo. I was shy. I was afraid that if we met, the magic would disappear. Maybe he would not like me in real life. Maybe I was boring. One Friday afternoon, Tom sent a different message. Sarah, I have a question. My heart beat fast. What is the question? I asked. The 3 dots appeared on the screen. He was typing. He stopped typing. Then he typed again. We have been talking for 1 month. You are my best friend to talk to. I want to meet you. Do you want to drink coffee with me? I stared at the phone. I was happy, but I was also scared. Meeting a stranger from the internet is dangerous, my mother says. But Tom was not a stranger. I knew his daily routine. I knew his sister's dog. I trusted him. But I was nervous. What if I run out of words? What if there is silence? I took a deep breath. I typed. Yes, I would like that. Tom replied quickly with a smiley face. Great. Let's meet on Sunday. There is a nice cafe near Central Park. It is called the Blue Bean. Is 2 p.m. okay? 2 p.m. is perfect, I said. How will I know you? He asked. I thought about my clothes. I will wear a red coat, I said, and I will have a book with me. Okay, said Tom. I will wear a gray jacket, and I will hold a yellow flower, a yellow rose for friendship. I smiled. See you on Sunday, I wrote. Sunday arrived. The weather was sunny and crisp. I was very nervous. I changed my clothes 3 times. Finally, I put on my favorite red coat. I took my book. I walked to the bus stop. My hands were shaking a little bit. Why was I so nervous? It is just coffee. It is just Tom. I arrived at the Blue Bean Cafe at 1:55 p.m. I was 5 minutes early. I stood outside the door. I looked through the window. The cafe was busy. There were many people drinking coffee and eating cakes. I looked for a gray jacket. I looked for a yellow flower. I did not see him. Maybe he is not here yet. Maybe he decided not to come. I felt a cold fear in my stomach. Maybe this was a joke. I waited. 1:58 p.m., 2 p.m., 2:05 p.m. I stood outside in my red coat. People walked past me. I felt foolish. I took my phone to send a message. "I am here," I typed. Suddenly I heard a voice behind me. "Sarah?" I turned around. There was a man. He was tall. He had kind eyes and a warm smile. He was wearing a gray jacket. He was breathing fast like he ran. In his hand, he held a bright yellow rose. "I am so sorry," he said. "I am late. The subway stopped for 10 minutes. I ran all the way from the station." I looked at him. He looked messy but kind. He was real. He was not a text message. He was a person. I smiled. "Hello, Tom," I said. "You are late." He laughed. "I know. I am always in traffic or late trains. I am sorry." He gave me the yellow rose. "For you," he said. "Thank you for answering my wrong number." We went inside the cafe. We ordered coffee. He ordered a cappuccino. I ordered a black coffee. We sat at a small table near the window. At first it was quiet. I looked at my coffee. He looked at his cup. It was different from texting. When you text, you have time to think. When you speak, you must answer now. "So," Tom said, "you really have a red coat." "Yes," I said, "and you really have a gray jacket." We both laughed. The ice was broken. We started to talk. We talked about the dog, Max. Tom showed me new photos of Max on his phone. We talked about his job. We talked about my boss. It was easy. It was just like texting, but better. I could see his eyes. I could hear his laugh. We stayed in the cafe for 3 hours. We drank 2 cups of coffee. We ate a piece of chocolate cake. We shared it. I felt comfortable. I felt happy. I realized that I was not lonely anymore. A simple mistake, A wrong digit on a phone changed my life. The sun began to set. The cafe was closing. We walked out onto the street. It was cold, but I felt warm. I had a very good time, Tom said. Me too, I said. Can we do this again? He asked. I would like that, I answered. Maybe next time we can go to the park. Max can come too, Tom suggested. I would love to meet Max, I said. We walked to the subway station together. Goodbye, Sarah, Tom said. Goodbye, Tom, I said. He waved and walked down the street. I watched him go. I held the yellow rose in my hand. I smelled it. It smelled like a garden. I got on the train to go home. My phone beeped. I knew who it was. I opened the message. I am glad I typed the wrong number, Tom wrote. I typed back. I am glad too. I went home to my apartment. I put the yellow rose in a glass of water. I made dinner. I was still Sarah. I still lived in the big city. I still worked with numbers. But everything was different. I had a friend. I had plans for the weekend. The city did not feel so big and scary anymore. Sometimes life gives you a surprise. Sometimes a mistake is not a mistake. It is a door opening. You just have to be brave enough to walk through it. I am happy, I replied to the message, and I am happy to tell you this story. Thank you for reading my story. Remember, be kind to strangers. You never know when you will find a friend.